Come on in, everybody. We see you out there. Actually, I'm the only one in the room this morning. So hope you can join me. If you're out there, let me know you're there in the chat. We got a great book to look at this morning. Hope you can join us. Russ might be by later. We hope Glenn's down with the flu. We hope he feels better soon. Audience is coming in. Come on in, folks. We're here. Or I'm here, I should say. Hoping Russ will join us. He says. If you're out there and you don't, you're not part of the Sunday Funnies broadcast group in Facebook, and you're a professional in this field and you want to be up this early and talk about some great comics, let me know. Mr. Russ is in the house. Morning, Russ.
Morning.
We are live.
All right.
I decided to start.
Am I in?
Go ahead. Yeah, you're in.
Because all I can see on the screen is Comics by Night.
Yeah, because that's all I'm showing right now.
Oh, right. Okay.
Boom. There we are. Who wants to look at my ugly mug? You know, that's the way I feel about it. Folks, we're glad you're here. The numbers are climbing. There are people in the audience. We appreciate you out there. It's 5 a.m. where I'm at, so it is nighttime. It is a balmy 54 degrees out this morning here in
What's
middle
that in
Michigan.
English?
I'm not sure. Probably 6. I have no idea.
Right. Okay.
Whatever that converts over to. It's 54 here. It's a lot warmer than usual. Temperature is going to drop about at least a good 20 to 30 degrees today as a cold front passes through us, or a cold front and warm front. And anyway, I'm not a meteorologist, so
no. It's 13 degrees in Celsius.
There we go.
That is balmy.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite warm for this time of year.
Especially up north here where I'm at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's warm for this time of year here. So
in the middle of Michigan. We're probably pretty close in the same latitude.
We just get weird. We get weird weather because we're an island. So but we're similar. Yeah, we might be further north. I don't know.
We're all on islands, so just size. I just want to call them continents. It's like trying to call Pluto a dwarf planet. Oh yeah. That'll work. Well, however you got to classify it to say.
Although the America is so massive. I mean, where's your coast from you? How far
actually,
is your coast?
I am an hour and a half drive from any of the Great Lakes. Almost.
Yeah, but that no, not a lake. Not a lake. Not a lake. An ocean.
Probably.
How far are you from an ocean?
Probably a 4 or 5 hour flight.
Yeah.
12. We're about 12 hours away from New York City driving.
Because we're in Britain, I don't think you can be ever any more than an hour and a half's drive from the sea. Yeah. Anywhere.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't know the exact details. But
I'm the same way, but it's a Great Lake, so and you can't see the other coast. So
it's a whole different thing as far as weather is concerned.
So. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Well, I don't know. We got some pretty close to hurricane up in Lake Superior here about a week ago.
Yeah, we're getting the end of it.
30-foot waves crashing up against it's pretty crazy.
The whole place has been a bit of a storm last night. Although I didn't down south, we didn't see much, but just a bit of rain. But apparently it's going to get cold again, so all the snow's coming in. Everything's going to stop.
Same here, exact same here. Yeah, they're talking inches of snow and all that. They got 3 feet up there 2 different times up in Marquette, up in the Upper Peninsula. That's close to the just a little east of the ear of the rabbit. That is the Upper Peninsula.
Right.
So it's a rabbit running anyway. All right, we're going to run the opening. We'll get this underway. We got Batman to look at. It'll be great. Some great stuff. So let me find the correct opening, and we will get stuff underway. Here we are.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with the...
I keep swearing I'm going to change that opening one of these days.
Always good to find the correct opening, though. That's what I say.
That's what she said. Anyway, sorry. Comics by Night, folks. Come on in. Come on in. It's Comics by Night for the 9th of January already, 2026. The only way I can keep track of the time is a little calendar here in the corner of my computer screen. The days are just blended together. My name's Randy Zimmerman. I'm your host. Arrow Comics, been printing alternative and independent comics, mostly self-publishing, since the mid-'80s, believe it or not. In fact, I'm going back about 40 years and putting an omnibus together now of a series that I first started when I first got into publishing, called Tales from the Aniverse, which is a universe of anthropomorphic animals in a science fiction setting, kind of like a cross between Star Wars and Donald Duck. It's the easiest way to describe it. Well, more like Star Wars and DuckTales, only for more adult content. So, but other than that, I am writing The Atlantean as we speak. I have the plot for the 5th issue just about nailed down to the final details. It's a great book, folks. I write it. Russ draws it. It's sword and sorcery adventures of Cull the Barbarian and Brule, his companion associate, as they travel the land, ridding the world of shape-shifting lizard people.
You know it.
Cull just became king in the story The Shadow Kingdom, which we started out adapting, and it was so much fun. We decided to take those characters and continue them on in their own adventures. We hope you get a chance to see it. There are 3 volumes available. The 4th one's currently being worked on as we speak. And we are campaigned through fundmycomic.com. And you can look for the campaign for the 4th issue probably right at the start of March.
Yep.
So, but for Russ will give you more information on that. Today I'm joined by Mr. Russ Leach, artist extraordinaire. Russ, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, you can find out all about that over at russleach.com. That's my name, Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK and currently working on The Atlantean with Randy and Arrow Comics. It's Randy's explained it all. If you want to find out more about it, when the next book is available, how to go get the current books, go to russleach.com and sign up for the email list. You don't get very many emails off me, just when we're fundraising on the, crowdfunding on the comic. And if there's some news or some new art that I'd like to, show about, other than that, we leave you alone. So go check that out, russleach.com, and sign up.
We can't tell you how proud we are of this product, folks, and how happy we are to bring it to you. We're getting some really nice notice and some nice reviews. We've been translated into 3 other countries so far.
Yeah.
And we're looking for a lot more as we go along. But today it is Batman. From the 30s to the 70s, this great publication from 1970, I think it was 72, that I've had for most of my life. Let's see here. Yeah, 71. In fact, I've got my old original address from Montrose, Michigan, up there, the small town I grew up in. I've had this book since I was a teenager. From the 30s to the 70s, that's why it only goes to the 70s. It's got a great introduction here by Carmine Infantino. And then we were reading through these great Batman stories and had gotten to the introduction of BatWoman.
Some crazy droid thing.
Robots. Who needs them?
Robots and gorillas and dinosaurs. What are you doing?
Yep. Shuffling. reshuffling. Actually, I need to.
No, don't
check.
Don't touch the resolution. Yeah, it's good. For some reason, it's stayed exactly how it should. So
it did. I'm shocked.
It's nice and sharp.
Okay,
it's nice and sharp.
Excellent. We are looking at the great Dick Sprang, folks, at an era in Batman where they were under the Comic Code Authority, had to make sure justice always triumphed over evil, and it took on a lot more whimsical tone. That's why you've got BatWoman sliding in. A lot of the writers that came over from Fawcett Comics writing Captain Marvel came in and started writing Batman and Superman after they lost their jobs over at Fawcett when Fawcett shut down. And they brought a whole era of just phenomenal whimsy that everyone wants to ignore today. You got all of this crazy stuff. It's almost like, well, it is an alternative world Batman. Even sillier sometimes than the Adam West Batman.
Is this the Earth 1 Batman?
They would call it Earth 1.
Yeah, because they all basically Earth 1 was completely, it's gone, isn't it? All the people, all the characters we call effectively mainstream are Earth 2 characters, aren't they?
Yeah, well, everybody was blended together in Crisis and tossed into a bowl and mashed up like mashed potatoes, pretty much. In my opinion, that's when the majority of the good heroes just became, in my opinion, soulless zombies.
Yeah,
was around.
I watched a great video talking about how Batman died, how the original Batman left us, and it was really interesting. Actually, I had no idea how this worked and how they relaunched themselves almost, and that was effectively those original Golden Age heroes are not the ones that you see in the Silver and Bronze Age. They're different people.
Yeah.
It's really it's quite complicated.
Well,
so
it's a jumbled mess.
Yeah,
is what it is. They didn't know what to do once they just decided to blend all the Earths and try to make a solid history or one history. But how do you explain 4 different Batmen and 5 different Supermen and all of this?
No.
So
no.
they can't.
No.
This era especially was ignored way back in the 70s when Neal Adams came in, Giordano, and
he became the detective then, didn't he? He became
much more of a serious comic strip. Yeah,
Ninja Sherlock Holmes, effectively, didn't he?
Pretty much.
So,
yep.
Yeah. Look at that. That's a really high belt he's got on there.
Yeah.
On the left hand, no, even worse to the left. On the bottom page. Last panel, left hand page. That's Simon Cowler's Batman.
Yeah. There is a lot of charm in this stuff. If you can get past Batman not being a growling detective and it being very lighthearted and whimsical. Last week we covered the origin of Ace the Bat Hound, if I'm not mistaken. Ace came in. BatMite is coming up, their version of Mr. Mxyzptlk. In fact, there's a story coming up, a World's Finest story, where BatMite and Mxyzptlk cross paths. Dick Sprang, I love his artwork.
I presume this stuff is really what laid the basis for the Batman of the 60s and the 70s, the TV series.
Yeah, very much. Yep. This is the Batman they were reading when they created that. We'll see as we go in. They completely they dropped Batwoman and Batgirl and created a new Batgirl.
Right.
That they put into the TV show and then they put her in the comics. Very much like Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Cross-pollination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at them horns. Just great. Ears.
I love that.
Very square
as well.
Oh yeah. Big
with the bat symbol at the front. Yeah. It's just a car with a big things stuck on the front.
Yeah, big horn bat face on the front. Yeah, excellent stuff. Deceptively simple, but very stylistic. Dick Sprang did Batman for many years. We're just going to keep pouring through this. Batwoman comes in, giant robot.
As you do.
Before giant robots were a thing. Yeah, as you do.
Oh, wow, he's saved Batgirl, Batwoman. She's Batwoman, not Batgirl.
Yeah, that's Batwoman.
She's Batwoman because she's slinky. She's a woman.
Uh-huh.
She's not a girl.
We saw that reference back in the Nail. Selena Kyle in the Nail ends up becoming Batwoman. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the time of the Batcopter and the lot of stuff in the Bat Cave. Everything was bat back then. Utility belt. That's why the belts are so big. Utility belt came in handy. Robin had his own utility belt.
Bat shark repellent.
Yeah, exactly. The Challenge of Batwoman. Looking at 1956 here. Again, everything's still signed by Bob Kane, even though I don't think he's doing anything on this stuff at this point.
No.
I'd be surprised if he was. Marvy in the house this morning. Good morning. My favorite Batman is drawn by Mazzucchelli. Catch you later on the replay. See you Sunday. All right, Marvy. Hope you're doing well. Have a good day at work. And yeah, the majority of this book is in black and white, but there are a few color pieces in there, and every era, every decade has a little montage of covers to show you how Batman evolved over the years. Yeah, they threw out all that silliness when Adams and Giordano come in. They decided enough time had gone past the Batman Adam West TV show. It only lasted for a couple years anyway. But when it was out, it was quite the phenomenon for a little while.
I have a set of black and white stuff from the 90s, the reprints in the 90s. And they were the Batman books. I don't know. I think I've got 5 or 6 of them. There's a lot of Neal Adams work in there. They're really nice books.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Neal was one of those artists. I think that was great right off the bat. He just came in.
Yeah.
I can't say his style even evolved.
No, it just was.
It just it was always consistent and it was always there.
Yeah.
Dick Sprang stuff's the same way, but into very, very cartoony, very set in a style.
Sprang has got his look, and that's it. He's sticking to it. Yeah. Just get those off the shelf. Hold on.
They were coming up to Batman in the 60s. We get the Circus on Mars and the Robin Dies at Dawn. That was a major book back then. Great cover. I bet that was the inspiration for Crisis number 6 with Superman holding Supergirl like that. That's a pretty influential cover.
It's 6 books, and each one of them seemed to have a Neal Adams cover. The Joker's Revenge, The Demon Awakes.
You're talking about the books that you have?
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Vow from the Grave, Challenge of the Man Bat.
They put Adams
and the
they put Adams
City.
on. They put Adams on covers a lot because his covers sold real well.
But it's mostly Adams all the way through, if not exclusively.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely stuff.
We switched the page here on their 60s montage, and you see a whole different type of Batman.
Yeah, look at that. It's
Coming
good,
through a
far
lot.
darker, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. A lot more serious. Gil Kane's coming in at this point. And Carmine Infantino doing a lot of work. And across from that, of course, we have Mix Pitalik meets BatMite.
Yeah.
Or BatMite meets Mixpitalik.
Yeah, so it's Neal Adams and Dick Giordano. Stories by Danny O'Neill.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's classic 70s stuff.
Very classic. We got a lot of that in here coming up. Yeah. Not a lot of it, but we got some of that coming here.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Just love these books.
This was a World's Finest. At that point, they did World's Finest comics with Batman, Superman team-ups. In the most outlandish situations they could think of. I believe this is Al Plastino here. I think he handled a lot of this material. Still trying to keep to the Batman that Sprang had drawn and that look.
Oh, yeah. Is that a big balloon of Superman? What's going on there? That's something not quite right there.
It is. They turned Superman into a big balloon.
It's BatMite. Yay.
Mixpitalik was also the inspiration for the Impossible Man.
Yeah, the Impossible Man.
War.
Yeah.
Same ideas, same, just different company. Art from Golden Age was just the best. The Phantom Blot says. Phantom Blot, excellent. Thanks for joining us. Phantom Blot, that's a Gottfredson creation for Mickey Mouse. He was a Mickey Mouse villain. That is a guy in a black cloak with black shoes. So he was a blot. If you go back to last Sunday's show, folks, we looked at a lot of early Disney comics or comics from Disney from around the world. Actually, they weren't, some of them weren't that early. Some caught up to modern day. That was a nice podcast. Lots of great stuff. There's a whoosh. Seems to be mopping up the floor with his hair here. Absurdity was the note of the day. You had to convert to the Comic Code Authority, and they were pretty much a board of people made up by Dell Comics and Archie Comics. So you had that kind of attitude that they were looking for comics to go out to the drugstores. So you got some pretty bizarre, absurd stuff during this period, tongue-in-cheek material. Very rarely do you get a good monster out of it like that.
Mm. Oh, he shoots flame out of his
tentacles.
Yeah. This is great. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? If you go back and read those old 80-page giants that they did with Sprang reprints in it, you don't see a lot of this Batman around. They really don't reprint it a whole lot because they don't want to show everybody that at one point Batman was really not quite a buffoon, but it was real whimsical, lighthearted stuff. And it's so different from the complete opposite from the way they portray Batman now. Bat might ever get his own title? No, he didn't. Not that I'm aware of. He might have had a BatMite special in the 90s or 2000s or something like that I missed. But as far as I know, he never got a regular series. Just another plot device for them to do silly things with Batman, really. I think they got him to go home by, I don't know, pronouncing his name backwards, or somebody came and got him or something. No. Still great stuff, though. great reading. It's the second Batman and Robin team. Anything they could do to sell books. It's a time the superhero was in an incredibly weak state as a genre. You were seeing a lot of, comics were in a big evolution at this point, thanks to the Code Authority. They stopped the adult direction that they were going with, like EC Comics and Crime Does Not Pay, and turned these comics into kiddie literature on purpose. So you ended up with a goofy Batman, goofy Superman. Wonder Woman went very fantasy oriented. A lot of that stuff has its charm too. Kanigher and Ross Andrew did a lot of that material. Very neglected. I think there is a reprint book out of all three of them from the 40s and 50s, if I'm not mistaken. They did a reprint series a couple years back of some of this material, but other than that, you rarely see it around unless you dig through those back issues. BatWoman, go ahead. Crash.
No, just Crash, yeah.
The secondary team. Here comes Batgirl.
Yeah, see, she's not a slinky. She's got a little skirt on. She's a girl. She's not a woman.
All of these add-ons really sprung out of Captain Marvel. Nobody had these add-ons until Captain Marvel came along and started Captain Marvel Jr., which was successful. Captain Marvel was such a rage during its time. There was a period there where they really couldn't do any wrong. So they were doing the craziest stuff that they can imagine. Mary Marvel came in at that point, Grandpa Marvel, the Lieutenant Marvels. Talkie Tawny was a talking tiger, and one of their villains was a talking alligator. And we covered the Monster Society of Evil here a couple of years back. They did a hardback collection, Evil, that the main crime boss turned out to be Mr. Mine, who is a tomato worm, an alien tomato worm. It's the Red Hood, isn't it? Nope, that's not Red Hood. Is that Cobra? Might be early Cobra there. It's been a while since I've read these stories. Cobra. Yeah, it's Cobra. Cobra's gang. They later took that idea and put a K in front of it instead of a C, and had a short run as Cobra, as a crime boss. Comic series. I think it only lasted like 6 issues. Didn't go very long. But the Cobra gang has been in and out of a number of different titles. It's kind of like an organized crime gang. Kind of a hood. Different character. So, of course, they had to have stories of every element meeting every other element. So here BatMite meets Batgirl.
Bash. Is he some kind of Cobra person?
Yeah, he's runs an international crime gang.
No, of course he does.
Yeah, in an outfit.
Yeah. Couldn't just put a suit on.
No. Well, for the kids, that would be way too mundane. You got to dress them up in green.
Yeah.
Have them bouncing around in an odd outfit. Nice tiger.
Rawr.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Numbers are still climbing. We're looking through Batman from the 30s to the 70s. We are in the late 50s here. Dick Sprang artwork, BatMite, BatGirl, a different BatGirl than you're used to. The other one comes in here in a minute. BatMite is so cute. Yes, he is. Back then, they weren't thinking merchandising, though. They were just thinking of selling comics.
Mm. Did BatMite ever go at his own title?
No, not that I'm aware. Yeah, unless he had a special or something in the 90s or 2000s, back when I stopped really following a lot of his
I could
stuff.
imagine him, yeah. Because they did in the Bronze Age, they did some of those funny, was it
goofy stuff?
Eck?
Yeah, not Brand X.
Those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder if they did something there.
Not that I'm aware of. They kind of got away from this. Eck was really a anomaly. I think that came out of the creators in the Marvel bullpen getting tired of trying to be as serious and campy as they were. They decided to, and Stan had always at times had referred to himself as Forbush Man anyway. So they created a Forbush Man and started doing mad style parodies. Caught on for a little while, lasted 12 issues or so. That means the first couple of issues at least sold real well. Prisoners of Three Worlds. Look at that giant wedding ring, diamond ring.
Oh. It's that thing in the. What is that? Is that an alien or something at the top there?
The ring.
No, at the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep. It looks like an alien in a little rocket ship.
His work's coming on, isn't it? He's definitely improving as he goes.
I don't know if this is all Sprang at this point. They were doing a lot of
maybe
Batman.
the ink is fixing.
You still had Batman coming out monthly, if I'm not mistaken, or bi-monthly, and Detective was coming out monthly at this point, and then World's Finest had crossovers with Batman and Superman. So there's still a little bit of material they were doing. I don't know if Sprang did all of it. I don't think he did.
That's what I'm saying.
I know he didn't do. Yeah, maybe that different.
Embellished. Yeah.
Could be that.
Wow, Batwoman and Batgirl on a motorbike. Couldn't get much sexier than
that. And the code probably wouldn't allow them to.
No.
Yeah.
Pew, pew.
BatMite ever get his own title? No. BatMite's so cute. Yep. There's that Batmobile again. Such a fun car. I always like
it reminds me a little bit of Penelope's car.
Does it? The Rolls Royce?
The Rolls Royce, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this really long bonnet and a bubble, isn't it?
Boxy, yeah. Boxy and a bubble. I really like the an Avanti that Neal Adams gave Batman there for a while, a blue real slick looking car. I know it was patterned after a prototype car because I saw it we had it at one of the local car museums, and I went, I know where that was, that was the inspiration for it. Holy crap. Look at that. Almost exact. It's a real nice, slick, almost like a Stingray, Corvette Stingray that he was running around with for a little while during the Neal Adams period.
Nice. I'm just flicking through the books I've got to see if I find it.
It's coming up. We got it here. I'm pretty sure it's in this.
Is it?
Yep. Death from Beyond. Batman, Batwoman fighting off a moth-looking kind of alien.
Mothra. Not keen on a mask, to be honest.
On Batwoman's mask?
No.
Yeah. It had to have been glued on.
Glued on.
Such fun stuff. You really have to put your tongue in your cheek and suspend belief on this stuff. Just crazy. Read all this stuff when I was a little kid. Well, anything I can get my hands on. My parents wouldn't let me have superheroes, but I did smuggle an 80-page Dick Sprang giant into the house one time, got caught, and got my ass whooped pretty hard. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. His face is like, what?
Yeah.
Tell me, Captain Kirk, what is kiss?
Exactly.
Tell me of love, this human thing. I just flicking through. They've got the one where he's piloting a plane, and he's up against the Red Baron. Oh, what?
That's Neal Adams.
Yeah, what fantastic strip.
Enemy Ace. An Enemy Ace crossover
yeah.
in Brave and the Bold. That's classic stuff.
Yeah, great stuff.
Great stuff. Yeah. I've got a couple of those showcase presents that we should probably look through of Brave and the Bold. That had a bit of Neal Adams in it until Aparo took over the job on a regular basis. Just
want to look through a couple of these at some point because I think Glenn would like this.
Sure he would.
Because they're all black and white.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just the line work. It's really nice.
It's the Dimension of Doom. I'm not sure.
Oh, God. Look at them ears.
I think we're still in the same story here. They're just being sent to different alien worlds. So
they've got their own donkeys. Look at that. Alien donkeys.
Yeah. More fun than Dalmatians, huh? No, not quite. Yeah.
They're a bit more derpy looking.
Yeah. Well, these were one and dones. So they never expected any of these characters to ever reappear other than their main cast. So,
Doip.
However it looked. Uh-oh.
I would actually say that the period with Neal Adams and the way it was written, was it Denny O'Neil, most of it?
Most of it, yeah. I think primarily it was O'Neil.
Yeah. I've got the car here. Yeah, it's just like a big Corvette, isn't it?
It's really slick. I love the way it looks.
There's a lot of parallels to the Nolan Batman series.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Nolan probably cut his teeth on that. On that stuff. So.
It's that Batman is more like that period of Batman. So even though the three films were one and done, as it were, it was like it was a story that the Batman didn't come back. Like if you haven't seen the films, hard luck. The films were in themselves an arc where Batman turns up, does his job, and then leaves. Okay, in the third film, not like the comics where he goes on and on and on and on and on. But the characterization of him is very similar to that Denny O'Neil stuff, I think.
Very much so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought they did a really good job of making a great Batman series. He wasn't necessarily as core Batman as maybe the Batman after Denny O'Neil. But it was very, very much of that time. I really like those three films. I actually think they're the best three Batman films. But I know some people don't like them. And I have I really love the first Batman in '89
Burton's Batman, first Batman.
Burton's Batman, I really liked, and the one he followed up with. The others are rubbish, but those two, I love those as well, and they're completely different to the Nolan ones, and they're not like the 70s TV show or like this stuff that we're looking at the moment, but they've still got a real comic book feel to them. I actually think they're more comic booky than any other Batman film. But the Nolan ones are very much that Denny O'Neil run and Adams, and the latest stuff, because Batman didn't get he got his own film, didn't he? Yeah, that was quite good, but they all felt like Elseworlds. Do you know what I mean?
They're all Elseworlds to me.
Yeah, but they didn't. The Batman, the most recent one, with what's his name from
Patrick, whatever, Robert Patrick.
Yeah. That wasn't bad. It had quite, but it was like a very noir version of Batman.
I thought it was a dark mess compared to the other versions of Batman.
Yeah, it was a bit of a dark mess. It had some nice stuff in it, and I think the best representation of a comic book Batman for me, okay, in its purest aspect, was Batfleck. I thought Affleck's the bit where he in the Batman versus Superman, where he came in through the window of that that warehouse and beat the living crap out of like 20 people. That was it. That was Batman. In my mind, you know, obviously I started picking up comics in the 70s, and then in the 90s heyday when he started getting quite dark. That was Batman to me. That was it.
Right.
But I think the most comic book sort of feel Batman was the 80s Batman, was the Burton Batman. And the one closest to an actual run was the Nolan Batman. So I actually like them all for completely different reasons. I think people do get a little bit sort of uptight about, it didn't do this properly, it didn't do that. I mean, people getting so upset about Bane and what have you in the Nolan films. And it's like, they're just films. Do you know what I mean? Just enjoy them for what they are. Much like comics, in the same way that we can enjoy what we've got here, right now, and this Dick Sprang stuff and the old Bob Kane stuff and what have you. We can enjoy this for what it is. Yeah. And exactly. Now that I've grown up, I can actually, got a little bit of adulthood to me, matured a little bit. I can really appreciate the 60s TV show as well. I absolutely love it.
As because a completely it was so different Batman.
As its own thing. You can't, there's no point comparing them all. They all work on in their own rights and should be enjoyed as such. And it's the same thing with comics, which is why I sort of went off on this bit of a rant, is that these comics are just as valid as anything Denny O'Neil or Neal Adams did, or any of the later work, or any of the dark work, or Killing Joke, or whatever you want to love about Batman. It's all valid because of the time that it was set in and the effort that people put into it.
Well, I think you'll see that the Adam West Batman is really pulled off of, inspired by the Sprang material.
Yeah.
The Nolan, like you said, the Nolan Batman was back when Nolan was a kid and reading all those great Neal Adams, Denny O'Neil Batman. Yeah. That's his Batman. That's the Batman he put on the screen. Ben Affleck, though, to me, is really Miller's Dark Knight.
It is quite a bit of that. Yeah, it really does come through. I mean, well, they have direct things like putting on the armor and, except they didn't plug him into the grid and give him a heart attack like they did in the book. They basically weakened Superman and then let him do the thing in the armor. So.
Right. I think that springs out of Snyder reading Dark Knight when he was a kid.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Figuring that's the version.
That's my Batman. Yeah, that's my Batman. Yeah, 90s Batman's my Batman. Yeah. So I agree absolutely. And they brought to the screen what they thought was in there. Under difficult circumstances, it must be said in some cases.
And the Patrick Batman, I think, is pulled from the Killing Joke and other material that came in after Dark Knight, and they really took that influence to a nth degree and really turned it dark and foreboding. And
there's no doubt that there's no doubt that the Killing Joke had an effect on every Joker portrayal after it.
Right.
In my view, personally, because I think even in the second Nolan film, the Joker is sort of more unhinged, more akin to the Killing Joke Joker.
That's back to again, Adams and O'Neill turned Joker into a homicidal maniac. He just took what they had done and exaggerated it, modernized it. Because he wasn't a homicide. This was the Cesar Romero practical joke Joker all the way up until that point, you know.
Yeah, he turned into a complete psycho. Yeah.
Well, they went back and read those original books, and we saw the original stories here earlier, where he wasn't a prankster at all at the start. He was a homicidal maniac going around killing people.
Nasty gangster, yeah. But that was the way it was. It all got softened during that period, and
they had to because of the Code Authority. It was the big thing.
I love these aliens' heads. Bonkers.
With the ears. I draw elf character with those ears.
Massive ears.
Where I pulled it from. Yeah. See, now we're getting into the 70s. This is
you go look at all those. Yeah.
Just classic material.
They're all Adams covers, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Yes, they are. All of these are, absolutely. Each one of them is a lesson in composition and advertising, marketing art. You know, with the way the compositions are and the way your eye is pulled. There's a big lesson here. Adams did a lot of advertising work, made a lot of money doing comics for advertisers. And this is all of that very commercial material coming through. Completely different change for Batman. But before we get to that, I think we have Irv Norvik coming in, and we have the Batman TV show period coming through. Are all these Adams? I don't think that's Adams.
No, well, it's Norvik on this right-hand side.
This is Norvik, yeah.
Yeah. Who is actually not a million miles away from...
Adams.
Oh, no, hold on. No, Dick Giordano is the inker. So that's the continuity. If you look at Dick Giordano's inking. Yeah. Who was
Norvik did Batman for quite a number of years. He's one of those artists that doesn't get his just recognition, I think.
Not at all.
But he had an incredibly great style as well. Look at that.
Yeah, classic, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See the characters maturing more here. That Robin's in college. They're realizing that their audience isn't necessarily all little kids. You know, that there are adults that are following this, and the storyline, the whole atmosphere of the strip becomes more older oriented, more late teen, early 20s oriented.
I wish they'd kept it black and white, though.
It goes back to black and white here real quick.
Yeah.
The book does, but all of these were originally in color. So this is probably the first Batman in this version. That's usually the milestone stories are what end up in the book.
Right.
So,
well, this is a big change, isn't it? I mean, it's huge visually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would imagine the story tone is different as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very much so. No circus on Mars.
That looks similar to the car that Neal Adams was drawing. So, yeah. I meant that
I think it
was on the page before. It was on the page before.
Yeah. The car was blue with a black bat hood.
There you go.
Not that.
So that's the one from the TV series.
TV show here.
Yeah. But if you look down on the left-hand side there, that looks like a different one. Oh no, I think it's the same one. It is the same one.
It is the same one.
Yeah. But you look at the front of it, it's got a bit of a Mustang front.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Just on the left-hand page, it's sort of like rolls over there.
There was a specific car that they took the Batmobile off of too. That was also a very limited run. They converted it over to the Batmobile because it looked cool. Looked cool at the time.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, it converted more over to this.
Yeah, that's like the one that Neal Adams drew. Yeah.
Yeah, only it was blue with a black bat silhouette on the
front.
Hood. Yeah. Love that car. Thought that was really.
I actually in the latest film, the what's it called? It's called The Batman, isn't it? The Pattinson one. Yeah.
Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson. Yeah. I really like the car in that. Actually.
Yeah.
I really like the car in that because it just seems like it's a souped up, ordinary car.
Yeah.
Hey, PBR.
PBR yells, "Hey, hey, hey! Nice to see you here,
hey.
PBR."
Hey, hey. Oh, she slapped him.
They could have thrown a Batman ad in there or something.
Well, just some couple of covers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now we're going back into the black and white.
Oh, cool. You can see the ink. So quite a dull story because there's not a lot of Batman going on.
Oh, it's talking heads. Yeah.
It's a lot of scene setting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's well done because it isn't talking heads.
Right.
It's lots of different angles and perspectives. It's very interesting. It's interesting art, but there's story-wise, I mean, Batman hasn't really turned up yet.
He's coming. There he is.
It's this alter ego thinking.
Yeah.
Ah, there he is. Dun, dun, dun. Mind you, arrows. What's that all about?
What?
Arrows. They're showing where you're going from one panel to the next. That's not good.
Oh, yeah. Well, they didn't want you to go that way. They wanted to go that way.
But then, no, it's still not good.
Yeah. No. Who done it? Who is it? Amazing answers to these latest DC hits. Norvik and Don Newton, I think, came in right after this. Newton is also one of those artists who's very underrated. Norvik, I think, did a lot of romance stories for DC. I'd have to look him up during the 50s and 60s. Did we look him up already? Maybe not.
I don't think so, no.
Let's go over there. We'll see how reliable Wikipedia is.
Huh.
Irv Novick. I keep calling him Norvik. Got to start with Pep Comics, Archie and the Shield. That's where we saw him before. We ran into him during last Sunday's program when we were looking at all those comic covers. Graduate of the National Academy of Design, Novick. I keep calling him Norvik. Novick got his start in the workshop of Harry A. Chesler from about 39 to 46. Novick was working for MLJ Comics, the company that would later be known as Archie. He became the primary artist for their superhero comics, including the characters The Shield, first patriotic superhero, Bob Phantom, the Hangman, which we saw a cover of his Sunday, and Steel Sterling, until MLJ cut back on those titles to focus more on their Archie comics. He joined the United States Army in 43, probably because of the war. From 46 to 51, Norvik worked in advertising for the largely successful comic strips Cynthia and the Scarlet Avenger. His long association with DC began when he was hired by editor Robert Kanigher, who had previously written Norvik illustrated comics for MLJ. Norvik and Kanigher would be friends and colleagues for many years. Initially, Norvik was primarily an artist on war comics such as Our Army at War and occasionally romance comics. Kanigher and Norvik introduced the Silent Knight character in The Brave and the Bold #1. Norvik left DC for the John Stone and Cushing advertising agency in the 60s, but was unhappy in advertising and was lured back to DC by Kanigher with a freelance contract, a guarantee of steady work, and certain perks, which was at the time unprecedented. After editorial and management changes in 68, Norvik began drawing superhero titles such as Batman, Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. Oh, yeah. He did a big run on that. And The Flash. And writer Frank Robbins crafted the story which revealed the last name of Batman's butler, Alfred Pennyworth, in Batman #216 from November of 1969. The Robbins and Norvik team was instrumental in returning Batman to the character's gothic roots, such as in the story One Bullet Too Many. Robbins and Norvik created the Ten-Eyed Man in Batman #226 and the Spook in Detective Comics 434. He and Dennis O'Neil launched the Joker series in May of 75. That only lasted a half a dozen issues, I believe, maybe 12 at most. Norvik drew introductions of Duella Dent in Batman Family #6 and the Electrocutioner in Batman 331. Norvik continued to work, still under contract, until failing eyesight prompted his retirement in the 90s. A panel Norvik drew in All-American Men of War #89 back in 1962 of a U.S. Air Force plane shooting down an enemy plane with a onomatopoeia, wham, was later appropriated for Roy Lichtenstein's painting of that name. Lichtenstein, what a great, what would be the polite word? Plagiarist.
Thief.
Thief.
I'll go for straight up scumbag. Scumbag, yeah. Mainstream art, snobby scumbag thief. How's that? You go.
Exactly.
That's what I think about mainstream art as well, because they're so bloody snobby about comic book art. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I say that out loud?
They've been like that for decades. Though.
Yeah. It's okay. Lichtenstein is a genius, but the rest of us are just drawing pretty, funny cartoons. Fuck exactly. You.
So true. There's a blam.
Blam. Oh, look at this. Very close to Adams, isn't he?
Giordano again. It's like you're saying.
Yeah, the inking obviously
factor there. Yeah,
is the consistent. But I mean, the way he's tilting heads and stuff, the penciler, is not. There's lots of expression in the hands and stuff.
And again, he's had a hard advertising background.
Yeah. So I'm saying he's in the same school of art, really, isn't he? As Neal Adams.
At this point, Marvel's raging, so they're in direct competition, which is also a key factor in growing Batman up, sending Robin off to college. Yeah, some great stuff here. The Lois Lane books are nice too, like this. Ran for many, many years on this. Here comes the first new Batgirl. The Adams TV program was popular. They created Batgirl in order to add some main female to the cast. BatWoman, I'm sure they thought sounded too clunky, so Batgirl. And her costume is so much better than the previous Batgirls. She's got a bat purse. I think that was something they ended up having to do because the TV show, when Batgirl first came in, was still raging popular in the ratings. Took a nosedive, I think, mainly because of the budget. The writing quality dropped and the budget got thinner. It turned into almost like a stage play after a while. Almost a parody of itself. But Batgirl stuck. She's got those. She's got the little Princess Leia buns there before about 10 years before Princess Leia come in. Homely librarian Barbara Gordon. Commissioner's daughter. Actually, if you go back and look at it, probably the first girl boss. But anyway, first Mary Sue, because she come in all fully trained and competent, and right off the page, off the bat. She put on a costume and was automatically on the same level as Batman and Robin. Mm-hmm. Infantino here, I believe.
I was about to say, this is a different penciler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is Infantino and probably Giordano inking. Not sure. Brushwork isn't Anderson. At least it doesn't look like it. She's a little clumsy to start with. Definitely Infantino. Not sure who inked it. Let me see if there's a credit at the end of the story.
There's a lot of ink on the page. It's lovely.
Oh, yeah. Nope. There's no credit here.
No?
Nope. Let me see if there's one in the front. Just copyright. Quick table of contents that doesn't have any indications. Nope. Not sure who inked it. If anybody in the chat knows, let us know. But it's definitely Infantino doing the pencil work.
It's lovely stuff.
He might have been running DC at this point. If not, he came in and started running it shortly afterwards and ran it for a decade or two. Went over to Marvel in the 90s, I think, 80s, late 80s, mid to late 80s, maybe sooner than that. Did John Carter, did some Star Wars material. Did some of their black and white magazines. That'd be late 70s then, yeah. Remember a couple of Star-Lord black and white magazines that he did because they were so strangely looking. It's nice. And their sad failed attempt at Plastic Man. That only lasted for 6 issues. That girl suits up. Just sitting there, letting her fight, peeking in on her.
Let her get on with it.
It's like the evil grasshopper, I think. There he is, watching behind his false. Oh, it's the moth. False moth panel. Wow. How Batgirl figured that out. Action, Robin, before he fires that weapon. And still hear Adam West in the dialogue.
Yeah.
And here we go. The Secret of the Waiting Graves. I think this is where Neal comes in.
Definitely Neal Adams there.
Neal and Giordano. Just classic stuff. The big one I remember from Neal was the first Joker that he ended up doing. First Joker story.
It wasn't the Joker's Revenge, was it?
Could be, yeah. It's got some great imagery in it. It's the one that's got the classic Batman running along the beach with his hand.
And where he's sitting in the trees as well. Yeah.
A lot of imagery that they homage over and over again from this time period.
Yeah. Did it tell me where it started? I'd have thought it would have told me what issue it was.
Just got a great omnibus from Ollie's a couple months back of the back end of the original X-Men run.
Oh, wow.
That's got really nice reproduction work on the Adams material. Very pretty. Literally the high point of the book. It's just solid. Why do detail when you don't have to?
Yeah, you can see where Alan Davis as well has obviously enjoyed Neal Adams' work.
Pull some inspiration. Yeah.
Definitely.
Ra's al Ghul? No, probably not.
No, just some other guy with a moustache.
Right during that period, though, when he first comes in.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's been drugged. Whack.
Hard whack. And again, not really anatomically correct here, but definitely dynamic and gets the job done.
Oh, hugely dynamic, yeah. It's not about, as we've discussed, it's not necessarily about being 100% accurate. It's about conveying the energy of a position.
Yep. So true.
It's a halfway house, isn't it, between an illustration and animation. If you need to do to see that, is look at Buscema's work and how he stretched limbs and bodies, and and it all supposedly looks correct, but it isn't. But what is correct? Correct is telling the story, because that's what the job is.
And that it looks cool.
And it looks cool, yeah. Telling the story and making sure it looks cool. That's it. That's all you need to do.
Oh, yeah. No shot here.
You like that? Bosh.
Still, if there's any evolution at all, we're looking at Adams being very rigid here in structure.
Yeah. As far as the panel development is, yeah.
He really spreads out later on and gets into some pretty wackadoo layouts. Wackadoo might not be the right word, but crazy. They get pretty crazy.
Creative.
Yeah, creative. There we are.
They don't always work either, to be honest.
No, but he's up and experimenting. That's one of the things with the X-Men title, is that he wanted the lowest selling book that Marvel had when they offered him a book when he jumped companies. He took X-Men because he could play. He had plenty of playground there, and he could do odd, unusual layouts and play with structure and composition.
Yeah.
All of that. Man or bat?
That's why he's holding on there with all four limbs. That's great.
Giordano, this is written by Frank Robbins here.
Written by Frank Robbins. Right.
Oh, yeah. He was a big writer. He came off of Johnny Hazard comic strip that looked a lot like Milt Kniff. He was doing on his own. Went to DC and started writing like a nut. Wrote a lot of stuff that very few people give him proper credit for, in my opinion. And then went back and started doing more complete art. Did that run on Invaders and little fill-ins here and there. Human Fly. He used to hate his stuff. He used to hate his art style, just with a passion, because nothing ever looked right. And then you go back and look at it now, and it's all stylized and beautiful and just really
absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
But yeah, like the Wikipedia we just read, Robbins and Novick are big and maturing Batman. Giordano and Denny O'Neil comes in and makes it even more serious, more of a detective.
Yeah.
Man-Bat, too, is a great character. I always liked that character, except they screwed him around so much. It's just one of those great ideas that they just couldn't wrap their head around properly. But like I said, I pitched one time to Bob Schreck, a team. Schreck, I met him at a San Diego Comic-Con, and he was Batman editor at the time. He goes, "Write me something. We'll get it in print. It'll be great." I said, "I really don't want to do Batman because everything's been done, But and I told him right off the top of my head, I said, if I were to do anything for you though in your wheelhouse, it would be Man-Bat and the Outsiders. That would have been a great team to do." And he kind of chuckled and said, "Who would you put on the team?" And I just rattled off a bunch of characters I liked, the oddball third string characters from DC that would make a great team. Vixen, you keep Katana, use Vixen, Creeper would be in there, and Ambush Bug. And he just broke out laughing, said, those are all characters that Mike Carlin, who was running DC at the time, absolutely hated with a passion. In fact, there was an edict that came down that certain characters were just not going to be used when he was in charge, and they were on that list. So
that was that. Then
you'll never see that. You'll never see that in print as long as Carlin's up there. And he goes, "But I'll tell you what, you won't see the light of day. But if you get some time, you want to do me a favor, send me a proposal for the property." And then make up what you would do with it. And then at a point when I'm at my most pissed at Carlin, I'm going to go running into his office. I'm going to pop the proposal on his desk and tell him that I'm doing that book to the next big hit. And then I'm going to run. And then I'm going to listen to him scream. So at the time, Photoshop was just coming in. So I took the who's who pictures of those characters from the who's who and photoshopped a picture together of the whole group and did up a 6-page or 6-issue synopsis of what I would do. And it would be more of a it was almost like DC Comics meets Seinfeld more than anything. The big slogan was, "We're not a superhero team, we're a group therapy session." And Ambush Bug would run around and collect everybody because he could teleport wherever he needed to. So he'd go around and grab everybody whenever there was a mission. And I had Phantom Stranger put them together off of Man-Bat, and everybody, all of the characters were psychologically damaged. And Man-Bat was going through a divorce, and he was emotionally impaired, and Katana had a sword that was yelling at her, and Vixen had the totems that were yelling at her, and Creeper had an inner voice that was always yelling at him. And Ambush Bug was never sane. So it was a lot of fun. He sent me a note. This is back during the CompuServe days. This is how old this was, with a big email with nothing but thank yous on it. And then at the bottom it says, don't come to the DC offices for at least the next month because Carlin will remember your name. That was fun. Look at that. That's nice.
Yeah, nice really shading.
Shots here. Yeah, it's as close to Batman I ever got. Shrek was a great editor. I liked him a lot. He was a good person, good individual. And I'm sure he's still alive. I don't mean to make it sound like he's passed or anything. But he knew comics, which, gained my respect a lot more. Next time I went around pushing proposals, I was pushing characters that these editors had no idea they even owned. So apparently, but he knew.
There it is. There's your car.
Yeah, great car. I knew it was coming in. They got a specific name for that. It's there in the Buick Museum here in Flint. Last time I knew. It doesn't have the bat on it, but it's definitely that car. Really sweet. We did a show one time at that Buick Museum. They took a Chevy. What did they take? Not a Spark. It wasn't a Spark. It was one of their smaller cars, and they coated it with a Bristol board style vinyl that you could draw on.
Oh, right.
And we spent a weekend drawing on a car. Oh, it's a blast. Just so much fun. The museum had us up there. They had us roped off like an exhibit. It was fun. We were sitting there doing all, and I invited, that was back when I was doing the newspaper, and had everybody local from the newspaper come in and draw on the car. It was a lot of fun.
That lovely expressive swing there on the bottom.
Yeah. Here and here.
Yeah. Well, he's elongated his limbs there.
He's starting to get a little looser here with his layouts. Characters are violating panel borders, and he's moving the panels around a little bit.
That's right, yeah.
Just great stuff. Spent a lot of time looking at this and the Green Lantern, Green Arrow stuff. Just phenomenal work. We should take a look at that too. The Green Lantern, Green Arrow material that O'Neal and Adams did, which really should have taught these comic companies that socially overly preachy social comics don't sell because they were disasters, just like the Emma Peel Wonder Woman era. But no, they didn't learn from that lesson. Anyway.
I see some people online like say, "Oh, but everything's full of politics." It's like, no, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't. You know, you can put stuff in your stories.
The most fun and whimsical stuff wasn't.
No, you can put stuff in your stories that do have a message if you want. It doesn't mean you have to hit people over the head with it. And also, people don't have to buy your books. They don't have to buy DC or Marvel books. They don't have to buy independent books. They don't have to buy anything. They don't want it. So if people want to, you know, have whimsical, fun stories that don't have anything in particular, anything that's pointed in it, as it were, just a fun story with no messages, just a fun story, then that's what they can have. They don't have to. Nobody's compelled to buy any of your shit. You know, so don't get upset when people don't like it. That's the bottom line. Just doesn't mean you shouldn't. Doesn't mean everybody shouldn't have the right to do whatever they want. But at the same time, larger companies should understand that the vast majority of people reading comics just wanted a fun time, and not necessarily some kind of cultural or political lesson. So
so true. Yep, very true. And if you're going to be preachy, at least have some quality to it. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Those old Star Treks, and just watched a video on the Twilight Zone and how much it cost sterling, not just financially, but physically and mentally. Just crazy. Yeah.
But I mean, I think the perfect example of getting it right is something like Watchmen, which had a lot of anti-establishment messages in it, a lot. And it was taking apart, the whimsy of superheroes, and it was done spectacularly well. It was just brilliant from beginning to end. The problem was that the executives decided that everything should be like that now, because it sold so well. So everything must be like that, and writers were like, "Oh, everything we must, decompress everything. We must decompile everything. We must pull it apart." And it's like, no, it worked in that book because it worked in that one book, in that one story. That was the whole point, that it was different from everything else. Don't do this. But it was a perfect example of getting messages into a story without hitting people over the head with it. It was still very incredibly entertaining. And just the quality of the art was impeccable.
Yeah,
he's going for it on these pages, isn't he? He's really stretching his anatomy.
Yeah, he's really having fun. You can tell.
Yeah.
Do you think Moore could write another Watchmen?
No,
if he tried.
No, because I think now he would try and hit you over the head with his own opinions rather than putting in a story.
A lot of these comics like this are timing too, right people, right place, right time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's really Watchmen. Yeah. Even though it didn't sell when it was first out, it didn't sell very well. Very much like Blade Runner.
It's easy to be not
went over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah. When you're young, you're naive about these people, and obviously it's difficult to meet your heroes. You should never do that. But I have found that there's a huge number of people that I love their work, but I wouldn't want to spend a second anywhere near them. Unfortunately, that's just the way of it. But that doesn't mean I can't appreciate their work. It doesn't. You shouldn't. You should be able to. You should be able to separate art and artist. It does get difficult when so for instance, celebrities or even, you know, writers and artists just insist on making political or cultural statements constantly. And you think, yeah, I mean, they've got their own rights. They can say what they want, but they do have a platform, and it kind of overwhelms their work. And so it does get difficult. There are some people that you just go, no, I can't listen to you anymore. But historic work. So, for instance, anything that Moore has done in the past, it's like, yeah, it's like it doesn't. I can't stop watching. So, for instance, the first 10 years of Marvel on the MCU at the cinema, I won't stop going back and watching that stuff because the current stuff is awful. Yeah, and it's the same with Star Wars. People have said, "Oh, Star Wars is dead because these new films have just killed the." No, not in any way, shape, or form. I can watch those first 6 films and completely forget that any of this Disney rubbish ever happened. Yeah, and I feel that way with artists and creators. Is that when they start blabbing off and talking, I might not want to buy anything new off them, but it won't deteriorate. It won't make any change to the stuff that I appreciated them for in the past. So that's where I can you know, separate the art and the artist. Right. Yeah, if you want to bang on about stuff now and just get up my nose, then okay, I'm less likely to buy your stuff. But the older stuff is still there, and it's still magic, and it should be celebrated. He's done this lettering as well. Look at this lettering on here. Glenn would love this. No, down the bottom right, the actual title, "The Demon of Gothos Mansion." That's fantastic.
Yeah, not seeing a lettering credit here, but that was probably before they started getting that technical with the credits.
And that's Irv Novak. This isn't this is Novak
Novak here.
This is Novak.
Still written by Denny O'Neil.
Yeah. He's definitely got the same approach as Adams, hasn't he? Very tall, lanky characters.
Giordano again inking.
Yeah. That kind of style. I mean, the amount of times I saw that in visuals for advertising and design, you'd see that kind of. I could just imagine, you know, him drawing those kind of visuals for design and for advertising. Lots of lanky people in flares.
We're also coming off of a real big wave of adventure strips here that were a lot more domesticated. That Novak style would really fit well into, like Mary Worth or Apartment 3G or Judge Parker, that kind of material. I could we read in his Wikipedia entry, he did comic strips for a little while for the papers. It's very much in that style and almost like Modesty Blaze feel to it, you know. Alex Raymond doing Rip Kirby. Here's some spotted blacks. Fit the mood.
Nice.
One caption on this page, no dialogue. No sound effects needed.
The writer didn't get a full page rate then.
I'm sure Denny got paid, but
I'm sure he did.
At this point, at this
of all
point,
people,
they're probably
Denny would have got paid.
Oh yeah. At this point, they're probably looking at sound effects as being too campy anyway.
Yeah.
So they probably wanted to drop the majority of them at least. Gothic romances were in back then. It's like that Alex Toth book that we looked at. What is it? Secret Passions of the Forbidden Castle or whatever it was called. Great stuff.
Sounds like a soft porn film.
Yeah. That's about the time that stuff started up too.
Oh no, he's got hung.
Drive-in theater.
Yeah, this is very Pendulum in the Pit.
B movies. Oh yeah. The lighting here.
Very noir.
Yeah. He grabs the torch and burns the rope with it, using his feet and his phenomenal neck muscles.
Yeah, that's going some, isn't it? Got my neck muscles.
It's what he trained all of his life for. Anyway. Just swinging around on my neck. Gotta grab this torch with my feet and swing up, burn the rope, get away. There we are. It's about the time frame of those great old Dick Dillon Justice Leagues, too. He was on such a run. That's what that Batman here really reminded me of.
Mm.
Great old Justice League stories. Look at that. It's like Novik upped his game too when Adams come in.
Yeah, I think he probably did. Saw what the other guy was doing and thought, right, fair enough.
Well, I can do that. Yeah. So that girl, to me, really, really epitomizes the DC romance comics. We were looking at what's her face. There was a shot of her face here, right there. That reminded me of that. Great shot here, though. Just a sigh. Oh, it's Pitchfork. And the night is quiet. It's an interesting shot here. And that's it.
That's it. We're done.
There's a bibliography here of where Batman, I guess, has shown up at to this point. Superman. Other media in which Batman has appeared. Very small list compared to modern day.
Now, yeah, he's everywhere.
It's only been 50 years later.
That's sad.
Great symbol. Did that suddenly go fuzzy, or is it me?
It's fuzzy, yeah, but we're done, so.
There it goes. Just needed
a
slight knock on the side of it. Ripped up dust cover. Well loved, they would say. Batman from the 30s to the 70s. That great Infantino Murphy Anderson cover. I'm sure you can still find this book on eBay if you look hard enough. Somebody's bound to have a copy pop up every once in a while. I still see them show up at shows every once in a while. Great book, great look back on a Batman few people probably realize even existed. all the different versions of him over the years. They need to do a 30s to the 30s. It's probably that. I'm sure that they're thinking about doing that when they get to it. 100 years of Batman. Great stuff, folks. We're at an hour and 35, so we can we're going to end it there. This Sunday on Sunday Funnies, we're going to be looking at a biography of Mr. Al Plastino, classic Superman artist. Not just his Superman years, but also his commercial art years. A lot of nice pencil work, a lot of polished advertising work on the inside. We'll be covering this Sunday Funnies, folks. This Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Hope you can join us. Next week, we'll be looking at some more great comics. I'm not sure what, but we'll find something phenomenal for us to look through. Want to start trying to do more independent materials. So if you have suggestions out there in the audience of what we should look at, feel free to drop us a line. You can always contact us through whatever platform you're watching us on. We'll definitely take any suggestion you have under consideration. We are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, which is both channels. Well, all of these channels are really growing. We're really happy with the people coming over and subscribing. And the Indie Comics Network, which carries a lot of other comic and media-oriented programming as well. We are archived at all three places, so go over there and take a look. PBR says, so love the Batman. Great stuff. Yeah. Great stuff. There's so much great comic work out there, great sequential artwork, folks. We're never going to run out of material to show you. There's just so much great stuff out there to see. And I'm sure you have your favorites as well, so let us know. Other than that, like we said before, there's so much great work out there. If you find something that you really enjoy, or whether it's just nostalgia or just great quality stuff, you should let people know. There's too much trolling and negativity running around on these social platforms. And that dopamine hit from being a troll only lasts for so long, but these books you can keep forever. You know, and remind yourself how great comics are. Russ, please. Whoops. Come on. There we go. Russ, please tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me over at russleach.com. Go over there, sign up for that email list, and we'll let you know what's going on with the Atlantean. There you go. Nice and simple.
All right. And again, folks, I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. We do this twice a week. Like I said, 5 a.m. Friday mornings is Comics by Night, where we look at great comics. And then Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, we look at more great comic-oriented work. We've looked at trading cards, coloring books, all sorts of stuff on the Sunday Funnies comic strips also. So much more stuff to come, folks. And we really enjoy doing this. We do it because we're inspired by it. It makes us better creators. And it's just so much fun to go through. And we hope you enjoyed yourself as much as we did bringing it to you. Next week, more stuff. We hope you'll be with us then. We've got, I know for sure there's some more Miller work coming up. I'd like to show off some Vaughn Baudet, but I might have to do it with the little dots over the naughty bits. I don't know, or some of them at least. But, and I don't want to do that. I hate it when they censor anything like that. And again, folks, we're looking for your suggestions. Anything that we can show off to folks that you want to sit through, please let us know. Deeply appreciate you being here. We know the majority of our viewership is after the fact. We love you also. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you leave a like. Whatever format you're watching us on has probably got some sort of like, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Any interaction with this program goes to help our visibility and helps us land on more recommended pages and be seen by more folks. And we're gaining more viewership all the time. It's just that, in my opinion, we can't have enough. So
no, see more.
We're not. Yeah, we're not monetized. You're not seeing me grabbing a product and going, we're sponsored by so-and-so. But if you appreciate this program, please think about tracking down our work and giving that a read and letting us know what you think. We'd appreciate that very much. And like I said, we've been getting some really nice notices out there for the Atlantean. Real happy with the reception, but there can always be more. And the amount of translations that are going on, we hope more people get a chance to read our work. So love the Batman, great stuff. Yeah, thank you, PBR. Well, folks, we're out of here. We'll see you on the next one. We'll spend Friday at 9 a.m. hopefully for Sunday Funnies. If not, we'll be back here for Comics by Night next Friday at 5 a.m. Eastern time. All these times are Eastern times. And I don't know what else to tell you.
That's
Take care. Have a great weekend. Hope you're having a great new year. And we'll see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Oh, there we are. Take care, everyone. We'll see you. See you soon.
Accomplished.
Bye, Jack.
We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wang?
No horseshit, Jack.
No horseshit.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
If you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place?
In the time before Atlantis sank, when the lands of this world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny, seizing his place as a king. After defending his throne and learning the devastating truth of the Serpent Kingdom and its deadly cults, King Kull in his right hand ruled the Spear Slayer, make a solemn vow to hunt down and destroy the hidden empire of these serpent demons. These are the tales of those journeys. This is the Atlantean. Tales inspired by the brilliance of Robert E. Howard, featuring his first barbarian characters as introduced in the pages of his classic tale, The Shadow Kingdom. Each volume contains beautifully painted covers and around 50 pages of original black and white art and story, featuring classic sword and sorcery adventures you don't want to miss. Join us on these epic adventures and sign up now for news with the email list at russleach.com. Bring your axe and prepare for battle.
As he sits each day at his board, alone with his characters, Jack Kirby is far from lonely.
I haven't got the trappings of a circus, but there in my mind is a very active and bright and colorful place that's as good as any circus that I've ever seen. And I live with that, and I enjoy it immensely.
Taste the biscuit, taste the goodness of the biscuit.